You're listening to the Brian Crabtree Show on demand. Catch Brian live and local. Weekdays starting at 4 on Biz 1190. Replay at 9 p.m. on AM 920 The Answer. Details at biz1190.com.
All right, at Brian Crabtree on Twitter, and I've got some comments coming in on the white couple who is weeping in the courtroom as the judge gives them nearly 30 years combined for their hate crime, yelling the N-word and brandishing a gun, not actually harming anybody, but emotionally, abusively flying the Confederate flag. We'll get to some of that next hour. I love your comments. At Brian Crabtree on Facebook. There's big stuff going on in the Gold Dome. We talked about the medical marijuana bill, the casino effort. The Senate's still going to try to take that up, a measure about deputy salary. And then there's this. Lawmakers are taking aim at the Georgia School Sports Association. It's a 109-year-old organization that oversees the Georgia High School Association. Its 56-member board, which is just, I just roll my eyes, 56 members. You need about 8 board members, 9 board members to run an organization. It's just, I'm sure they have people representing different sports in different areas, but it's just nuts. And Georgia Representative John Meadows, Calhoun, says, I don't think any of them know what their job is. I can imagine. He goes on to say he gets more complaints about the GHSA from schools, referees, coaches, parents than everything else put together. And, quote, I'm basically sick of it. They put a bill forward, Senate Bill 203, to basically put a squeeze on them and tightly control them. I'm not sure that's going to help anything because anytime legislators get their hands in the cookie jar, it just makes the bureaucracy even worse. But the bill's call on the State Board of Education to designate a new nonprofit as a state agency governing high school athletics. It'd be open to public and private schools. And the complaints range from the money it takes in and the cost of attending sports events that leaves some kids outside in the stands. And then religious expression on uniforms and exclusion of private schools, which is ultimately not good for the state as a whole. The executive director, Gary Phillips of the Georgia High School Association, has agreed to retire. He was fired, really, but he's agreed to retire at the end of the year. And they're going to honor his contract by paying him through 2018. So they got to... Don't you wish you had that? Where do you get... I need to go get a government job so I can get a contract, do a half-assed job of everything, screw everything up on a 5-year contract or whatever, and get a year and a half off.
It's unbelievable.
That just makes me want to eat nails and scratch my eyeballs out at the same time. Here's the quotes on this guy. Gary Phillips has done what he thought was best for his organization, this organization, since he got there. And I guess that he's doing this because he thinks it might be in the best interest of the organization. So don't throw too many rocks at him. Yeah, we have problems. We're not perfect, but we try to do the right thing.
Ain't that nice?
Ain't that nice? You know, we've had a conversation in our condo building, just 4 or 5 of us that regularly sit around and talk. And I've determined that I no longer like nice people. I just don't. If you're nice but incompetent, get the hell out of my presence. I don't. If you're an incompetent, nice person, I like you worse than a mean, evil criminal. I can't say because they come in a very deceptive package. Nice, moral people who can't do crap show up and make a bigger mess than an outright abject criminal. I've said this a long time. That's why I don't care if my president is a flaming ASS. I don't care. I don't care if someone is, as long as they are competent and get the job done. And this is like a mini Roger Goodell here, this guy that I'm not supposed to throw stones at, Gary Phillips, head of the High School Association. Basketball, playoff, doubleheader. Cartersville, Wayne County, 2015 was rained out. Phillips ruled that it must be completed the next day. Legalistic, robotic rules of the association must be followed, which forced Cartersville to return immediately to Jessup rather than giving them more time. And they missed a big tournament in New York, and it caused a big public outcry. I don't know if you remember this, but it was a big outcry for sports families and sports parents, especially in that area. Phillips then changed course and gave special permission once legal action was threatened. This is like Ray Rice in the elevator. What it is with these sports people, they're airheads. Then the GHSA got a black eye March 2016 state basketball finals when they discovered the baskets at Macon Coliseum were positioned incorrectly, and Phillips elected to play on without stopping because he didn't want to slow down the event. This guy, God. Ain't that nice? Be nice to him. He always did what he thought was right, except he has no integrity or any competence. Jesus.
Thanks for listening to the Brian Crabtree Show on demand. Don't forget to catch Brian live and local weekdays starting at 4 on Biz 1190. Details at biz1190.com.